Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Welcome to our Zoom gathering. No matter whether you're watching us live on Zoom or you're joining us later in the day or the week on YouTube, Facebook, Insta, or X, however you join us, this is our sacred time together, a time to breathe, reflect, and remember who we really are beneath all the stories and all the stress. So tonight, we begin a new series of self-healing lessons drawn from the teachings of Louise and her book, You Can Heal Your Life, but grounded in the real lives that we're living right now. So if you've had a challenging week, if your body's tired, if your heart's been aching or your mind has been spinning, you're now in the right place. This is the perfect place, the perfect time. You don't have to be perfect to be here. You don't have to have it all figured out. All you need to do is show up with a little willingness, and that's exactly what this class is about. Because before we begin, I want to give you a quick reminder. We broadcast our classes across all these platforms 3 times a week. Wednesday is our creative living gathering. Thursday is this self-healing class. And Sunday morning we meet at 10:45 for our main lesson. So let's begin together by taking a deep breath. Let's tighten our shoulders and release them, relax them. And just for our time together, give yourself permission today to receive love, to receive healing energy. Let's be honest about a subject too, with our demonstrations. Our demonstrations aren't about wishing, because wishing isn't the same thing as willingness. Wishing is passive. Wishing will keep us sitting in a waiting room of our own lives and hoping that something will change. But what we're talking about today is willingness, because willingness is when you stand up and you say, I'm in. Even if I don't know how this is going to wind up, I'm in this journey. You're going to put a demand on consciousness. There's a moment in everyone's healing journey where we come to what the 12-step programs call a turning point. When we're asked to stop negotiating with life and to stop asking for guarantees, and instead we're asked to trust the process of life, which Louise often said, trust that there's something larger always at work. Trust that we're not broken. Trust that we're always learning and growing and waking up. Louise said, we don't need to know how it all works. We just need to be willing and say, that's our pivot point. That's the sacred shift where we have that willingness. We don't have to be totally ready. We just need to be willing to take the next right step. In the big book of AA, it says, willingness is the key. Willingness is the key that opens the door for everything that's good. And then it adds something stronger. And it says, half measures avail us nothing. So in other words, we're asking today in this lesson, are you in? Are you willing to give it a try, to practice? Or are you still dipping your toe in the water, hoping to stay dry? Healing asks more of us than toe dipping. It asks for us to say yes, a yes from our soul, that I deserve better. Yes to my healing. And even if that yes comes through tears, even if you whisper through clenched teeth, even if you're still a little afraid, willingness says, I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to have the willingness to try. Way back in the 1940s, Eleanor Roosevelt, who was our 32nd First Lady, she was a really interesting person. She endured heartbreak, betrayal, political battles, private grief. She once said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every single experience in which you really stop to look at fear in the face. And you must do the thing you think you cannot do. You see, that's willingness, and that's where healing begins. And I even when I was putting my notes together, I recalled Dr. Seuss, so I jotted his line down from the book, Oh, the Places You Go. Dr. Seuss says you'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join with the high flyers who soar to high heights. Except when we don't, because sometimes we won't. You see, life has a tendency to throw curveballs occasionally. We do fall down. We get disappointed. But Louise would remind us, just because we made a mistake, it doesn't mean we are a mistake. Everything that comes into our life is coming into our life for our greater good. Our teachings suggest that we want to try to take the affirmative approach. Louise was fond of suggesting, she said it differently, she would say take the positive approach, not because we're ignoring what's going on in our life or we're ignoring pain, but we're resolute that we will heal. We know that we're going to move forward. We know that life is moving forward. We know that when we love ourselves enough to keep going, everything begins to turn around. So this evening, I'm not asking you to be brave or be smart or be healed. I'm just asking you to have some patience, to stay the course. And I'm asking you, are you willing? Are you willing to lighten it up a little bit, to soften? Are you willing to see things differently? Are you willing to give yourself a break? Are you willingness to extend that same love to other people? Are you willing to trust that life is on your side? Are you willing to trust that everything is unfolding in divine order, even if it hasn't looked like that lately? If you are, that's enough. If you are, that's you saying quietly yes to how it all begins. So now let's turn inward for a moment, for a quiet moment or two. If it feels safe, gently close your eyes, let your hand rest in your lap or by your sides. Let your breath begin to slow. Let's take a deep breath again together. In and out. Allow your body to soften. Let your jaw unclench. Notice it's relaxed. Let your shoulders release. Let your heart open just a little bit more. Now imagine that you're standing in front of a beautiful old wooden door. This door has been closed for a long time. This afternoon, this evening, you're not forcing anything. You're simply standing there, breathing and becoming willing. Notice the energy of willingness rising gently within you. There's no pressure, just notice it. There's no demands to figure anything out. Just the openness within you to say, maybe healing's possible. Maybe I don't have to do this alone. Maybe life isn't really against me. Maybe I'm supported by something greater. Now see your hand gently rest on the doorknob. Just notice, there's no rush, just your breath and the quiet yes in your heart. When you're ready, watch the door slowly begin to open. What's on the other side isn't a solution or a sudden change. It's peace. There's a garden or a space of light, a place where your soul is met with kindness, a place where the pressure lifts. Stand there for a moment and let it in, and silently say to yourself, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to let love lead me and lead the way. Feel those words planting seeds in your heart. You don't have to know what they'll grow into. Just trust that they will. Take another breath here. And one more. And when you're ready, gently come back into our shared space and open your eyes whenever it feels right. And say softly or loud, if you like, I'm willing. I am willing. Take a breath. Let yourself come all the way back. So our lesson today is the healing starts with willingness. The healing starts with us being willing. I want to tell you something that happened years ago when I was leading a self-healing group in Florida. It's a lot of years ago. It was an afternoon group. It was mostly women. They were gathered working on self-esteem, self-acceptance, and learning just basically learning how to love themselves more. No one really talked about what they did for a living in that group. We were really there to connect on the inside. And one day, a very tall, striking lady came in. She was very beautiful. And someone quietly leaned over and asked me, "Is that Cindy Crawford?" And it wasn't unusual for us to have some famous people that would show up in that group at the time. And I didn't think it was. And for those of you who don't know who she is, Cindy Crawford was one of the most recognizable models in the world at the time. But this lady wasn't Cindy. She was someone who, if you looked at her from the outside, you might think she has everything. She's dressed beautifully and she just put herself together. She exuded confidence, poise, beauty. And that day we were working with our mirror work. We're passing around our mirror saying, "I love, accept, and approve of me exactly as I am." And we would be doing our releasing work. I think most of you know of the practice because you've heard us talk of it before. So holding up the mirror, again, saying, "I love, accept, and approve of you exactly as you are." And if you've never done that, I'd encourage you to do it because it's a good practice. You'll notice what comes up for you in those practices. It sounds simple, but if you've ever tried it, you realize it's not quite that simple. And so this woman who was so, that we thought initially they thought was Cindy Crawford, I can't remember what her name was, but anyway, when it came time for her to hold up the mirror, she was poised, she was a radiant person, but as she was trying to do it, she burst into tears. You could see she's getting nervous and she couldn't do it. She couldn't say the words. She couldn't even fake it. And I remember putting the mirror down and she was upset because the mirror exposed something tender and raw. And in that moment, we all learned something, all of us. You can't see someone's self-worth from the outside. It's what we all came to understand. And you don't know what someone else is carrying within. You don't know what it's taken for them even to walk through the door, or in this case, to sign on to one of our calls. So I always have respect for everybody who attends our gatherings because everyone has something that they're working with. That room that day was filled with very ordinary people. We all thought we were attractive by society's standards, but we all went very quiet in that moment because we were so moved, because we realized that self-love isn't about how we appear. It's about the willingness to meet ourselves at a much deeper level. That woman stayed in the group for quite a while, and over time, she didn't claim perfection. It still wasn't easy for her to do that mirror work. But she did begin to say something softer, something different, something honest also. Eventually she said, "I'm growing to like myself." And she had a little smile. And so I'll tell you, that one small shift where she got to that point was everything for her. That was healing, because healing doesn't always look like fireworks or great demonstrations. Sometimes healing looks like a softening, easing up. Sometimes it's the movement. The movement is just from, say, rejection, self-rejection, to willingness to try, willingness to be a part of something in a new way, willingness to stay, or willingness also to say, maybe I can see this differently. So let's be clear in tonight's gathering. The healing starts with your willingness. You came into life fully equipped. You're the whole bit, according to Dr. Barker. You're not behind. You're perfectly on time. You're in the right place at the right time. You're not missing the secret ingredient. You're not too late. You're not broken. You're not too far gone. It doesn't matter if you're 8 or you're 80. You are one with the one. You are supplied and supported. You have what it takes. And so know with me that there's a power in you that knows how to heal. There's a power in you that knows how to begin again, how to rise from the ashes, how to live a life you love. But you must learn to put a demand on consciousness for something better. Not a demand from force, but one that comes from clarity, from knowing who you are and what you are. A demand that says, I'm now ready. I'm ready for more. Because the healing always is going to start with you having that willingness, reaching out to spirit, and have the willingness to step up, willingness to stop begging for scraps when we start to realize that life is in fact a banquet. Willingness to stop settling for struggle when you're starting to realize that you were born to soar. There's a phrase I've loved for years. I think it came from Stuart Wilde. Life was not meant to be a struggle. It doesn't mean that life will never be hard, but it does mean that struggle is not your destiny. You're here to create, you're here to appreciate, you're here to love, to shine, and ultimately to rise, to walk with freedom and joy in your heart. You're not just a student of healing, you are the demonstration of healing. So what that means is, to do that, it means becoming the guardian at the gate. You have to be the one who decides what comes in and what comes out. You have to be the guardian at the gate of your own mind, where you put your energy, what you put your attention to. No more of this automatic self-criticism. No more handing your power over to the old stories of our youth or from our families or from our society. You're the director of your own consciousness. You're the author of your own life. So we want to become better guardians at the gate. So again, no more handing our power over to any of this. When you fall into fear, gently, lovingly, bring yourself back. When you catch yourself comparing yourself to other people, gently stop and bring yourself back. Sometimes it's 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. We all know this. But we also know you're still moving forward, even if it is that way. That's what willingness will do for you. It stays the course. I have a British friend who always said, we must stay the course. We must stay the course, with her wonderful accent. We must always stay the course. It's important to stay tuned into these lessons because these lessons are powerful. They're like an insurance policy. Every time you come, you're making a deposit into your own consciousness. Because what we serve to do here is keep reminding you of how great you are, the power you possess. We remind you you are in the right place at the right time. Even if it's unpleasant, there's a gift in everything for us. There's a phrase from the Course in Miracles, which is, it takes great wisdom to understand that all events, circumstances, and happenings are helpful. So let's have the willingness to know that we're in the perfect place, the perfect time. Let's have the willingness to stay the course, to keep tuning in, keep allowing ourselves to be reminded of the greatness and the love that we live in and that we move in. So staying the course, having the willingness, that's what willingness does. It stays the course. It doesn't panic when things get hard. What it does is it whispers, keep going. You're doing better than you think. All is well. So today, this evening, let yourself receive this idea. You, yes, you are the whole bit. You're already enough, and everything you're willing to receive is already seeking you. So let's speak some truth together. If you're able, say these affirmations out loud with me. If not, just let the words wash over you. If you notice something inside, push it back. A little voice that says, that's not true for me. That's okay. That's just something rising to the surface that's ready to be healed. You don't have to fight it either. Simply notice what comes up for you. You can say quietly to yourself, I see you and I release you. I release the need for you. I no longer need you. Even the woman in our story, the one who couldn't say, I love myself, she couldn't really hold the mirror to her face that first night. She started improving just by having the willingness to try. willingness to say, I like myself. I'm beginning to like myself, when she couldn't say, I love myself. You can do this too. So let's begin. You can say, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to love myself just a little bit more. I'm willing to love. I'm willing to love. I'm willing to live fully. I'm willing to shine. I'm willing to release struggle. I'm willing to believe that good is on its way. I'm willing to believe good is here. I'm willing to let go of whatever person, place, or thing. I'm willing to let go of the past. I'm willing to let go of my story. Which story? All my stories. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to remember that I'm one with the one. I'm willing to remember who I really am. I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to forgive myself for the things I did, for the things I didn't do. I'm willing to begin again. So let's take a breath again together. If anything has come up or rose up, any tension, any disbelief, any resentment, any old pattern, whoever and whatever it is, you don't need to make it wrong, yourself wrong. You just say, thank you. Any negative pattern just that comes to mind, say, thank you. I release you. I've outgrown you. I release you into the nothingness from which you came. So let's continue. Another affirmation. I'm willing to trust the process of life. I know that I'm in the perfect place, perfect time. I'm willing to believe I'm supported and supplied in ways I don't always understand, but I'm willing to believe that I am supplied and supported. I'm willing to be the demonstration of healing. I'm willing to walk in my wholeness. I'm willing to show up as light and as love. I'm willing to stay the course. I'm willing to keep tuning in, keep loving myself more and more. And if all you can say tonight is, I'm willing to try, that's more than enough. Because the healing, it starts right there with your willingness. With that one brave, beautiful word, willingness. So let's begin again with an affirmation. Say these with me, or let them flow through you. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to receive. I'm willing to love myself more and more. I'm willing to live fully. I'm willing to shine. I'm willing to stop the idea that I have to struggle. I'm willing to believe that good is on its way. I'm willing to let go of the past. I'm willing to remember who I really am. I'm willing to forgive right here, right now. I'm willing to begin again. Let's take a deep breath. If anything rose up, anything came to mind, any tension, any disbelief, you don't need to make it wrong. Again, simply say, thank you. As before, I've outgrown you. I release you. And as we continue, once more, I'm willing to trust the process of life. I'm willing to believe I'm supplied and supported. I'm willing to show up as light and love. And another time, I'm willing to stay the course. So let's speak just a couple more directly from Louise Hay now. Louise said, I'm willing to release all resistance to my good. I'm willing to accept myself as I am right now. I'm willing to allow life to support me in unexpected ways. I'm willing to embrace the ease and the flow of life. Take another slow, nurturing breath, letting all these ideas settle, knowing that with each affirmation you're planting seeds. You might not know exactly what they'll grow into, but you're trusting that they're already at work. And again, if all you can say tonight is, I'm willing to try, that again is more than enough. Because all of our healing journeys, every one of them, begins not with certainty, but with a quiet, sacred yes. Yes to life. A yes to soften. A yes to trust. Trust, and a yes to remember who you really are. So know with me that you're one with the one. You're the whole bit. You have everything you need. And say with me for the last time, I am willing. Let that be your prayer this evening. Let that be your practice this week. Saying, I'm willing, and knowing that you are supplied and supported. Let that be enough. There's a door that's inside your heart. It doesn't shout. It doesn't shout at you. It whispers. It whispers, start. There's no map, there's no key, there's no grand display. There's just a breath and a soft okay. You don't have to leap or run. Sometimes healing walks, not sprints. It's not sun. Sometimes it's fog, sometimes it's night, but still we're always walking toward this light. And if you falter or you lose your way, you haven't failed. You're still okay. Because every step back, each whispered try is proof that you're willing to ascend, you're willing to fly. So let those words land gently in your heart. And now we seal this sacred time together with an affirmative prayer spoken in the first person, spoken from your own center of knowing. So let these words be your words. I recognize and I know that there's one energy, one power, and I am one with that energy. And I am willing. I'm willing to release the fight. I'm willing to release the struggle. I'm willing to release struggling with life and start partnering with life. I'm willing to remember that healing doesn't come from force. It comes from allowing it in. It comes from remembering who we are. I'm willing to see myself through the eyes of love. I now release any belief that I'm not on time or it's too late. I'm willing to release any belief that I'm too broken or too far behind. I recognize that there's presence, there's activity, there's spiritual activity within me that knows exactly what to do. I trust it. It knows how to heal. It knows how to love. It knows how to begin again. I'm willing to trust that I'm supported now. I'm willing to say yes to my next chapter, whatever it might look like. I let go of shame. I let go of guilt. I let go of the need to do it perfectly. I return to myself now, to the wisdom that lives within me, to the light that's never gone out. I say yes to being whole, yes to being new, yes to being free, and so it is. So thank you, everyone, for being with us this evening. What a powerful way to begin this new chapter of healing together. We're now going to open the floor, turn the cameras over to you and Reverend Jimmy, who will be guiding the second part of our conversation. If something came up for you this evening during the talk, if you had any kind of insight, a shift, or even a moment of new willingness, we'd love to hear from you. So if you're new, please say hello. We'd love to say hello back. You can raise your hand or mute. We usually have time for everyone to speak for a couple of minutes. So again, thank you for all for being here. You make the community what it is, and so it is. Thank you.